Listen to this. If you're counting on a $2,000 stimulus check in 2026, you are not crazy. But you might be getting a little bit ahead of yourself because over the next few months, this $2,000 number has been floating around. It's been teased, it's been hinted at and talked about more times than I can count. And I get asked every single day about this. When is it coming? Is it really $2,000? Who qualifies for it? Are Social Security and fixed income folks included? Is this even real or just election talk? So in this video, I'm breaking down clearly, honestly, without the hype, so you could finally understand what's going on, what's possible, and what's being misunderstood. And trust me, you may be surprised by what I share here at the conclusion of this. All right. So here's the thing most people miss. This $2,000 payment didn't just come out of nowhere. So back in 2025, the president talked about multiple versions of direct payments. There was mention of a dividend payment, a rebate check, distributions, even contingency style payouts. And the name changes, the dollar amounts change as well, but the idea never really changed. And the idea was always the same. Take money coming into the government, specifically from tariff revenue, and send it part to the American people. And every single time this is discussed, one group will always be mentioned, and it's low income and middle income Americans. And that's important. And I want you to remember that. So now look, I want to be very clear here. Did the president actually stand on the podium and say, I promise a $2,000 check in 2026? So no, that wasn't the exact words that were used. But here's the scary part. When a sitting president repeatedly talks about sending money back to the public, when timelines like mid to late 2026 are mentioned, and when eligibility groups are clearly defined, that's about as close to a political promise as it can get without legally locking it in. So people are wrong to expect this. They're just wrong to assume that it's guaranteed and it's set in stone. So here's what's really important that you need to understand. If any non-emergency stimulus happens at all, it almost has to happen in 2026. And why is that? Because one word, midterm elections. All right. So let's be honest here. So not political, but just factual here. So outside of 2026, there's not going to be a lot of political and election pressure. There's not going to be a political upside. There's no real incentive to send out money just because. So if lawmakers are ever going to pay something out like this, like here's a $2,000 check to help with rising costs, the timing most likely would happen and be around mid to late 2026, not earlier, not later, if they want to be able to increase their chances politically. So that's why this year keeps coming up, and that's why the rumors won't go away. So I want you to listen to this closely because this part matters the most. So there's only two realistic reasons money like this gets sent out. So like I mentioned, one is the midterm election, and that election itself is going to lock it in, but the payment is not necessarily going to be locked in. So could they pair together? Yes. Will they? Only time will tell. If there's a serious economic breakdown, so this one changes everything. So if the economy slides into a deep recession, I mean like really deep, stimulus was pretty much going to become inevitable. It's not going to be optional. It's not going to be political. It's just going to be necessary, just like it was back in 2020 and 2021. So if you remember, about 6 trillion was put into the economy. And if we see a bigger crash next time, and with today's debt levels, that's possible. So the response could be even larger. So I'm talking about 10 trillion or more. And at that point, the calendar doesn't really matter. The elections don't matter. What is going to be the focus is to be able to stimulate the economy if they feel like they have no choice. So is it really going to be a 2,000? So right now, 2,000 is just a number that's being floated out there. But I want to say this clearly, the dollar amount is the least reliable part of the whole conversation. And why is that? Because it could be reduced, it could actually be increased, it could be phased, it could be income adjusted. The structure matters more than the actual number itself. So this is where a lot of fear and confusion comes up, especially those people who are on Social Security, SSDI, SSIs, survivors, retirees, and they feel like they're going to get left out. But here's the truth. They don't care where your income is going to come from. They only care how much it is. So historically speaking, the thresholds look like this. So 75,000 or less if you're single, 150,000 or less if you're married. And you just want to ask yourself one simple question. Is your income below that amount? If yes, you're likely to be included. If not, then you probably will not be included. And that's pretty much it. No tricks, no hidden rules. And it's just based off how things were done in the past. So here's my honest answer, right? And I know some people won't like it. It is possible. It is not guaranteed. If it does happen, 2026 is probably going to be the window that it happens. Outside of an election strategy or a major economic collapse, there's really no reason or incentive for lawmakers to really do this. And that's the reality of this. And I just want to be upfront about how this is going to play out. So here's another way to look at it. So you don't want to build your life around the hope of a stimulus check. And right, that's why so many people get disappointed, they get stressed out, and they get stuck waiting. But at the same time, don't ignore the signals either, right? Because when the government officials start talking about distributions, when they float around specific numbers and amounts, and when the timelines like mid to late 2026 keep coming up, it's not a random thing. It is a possible signal. So you want to make sure you stay informed. You want to pay attention to what's happening in the economy right now. You want to watch inflation. You want to look at what's going on with the job market and watch job data, watch consumer spending, and most importantly, you want to watch what lawmakers do and not just what they say, because talk is cheap. So vote bills and timing tell the story. And remember this part is going to be crucial for you to understand. When the economy is stable, stimulus is going to be debated. It's going to be argued over. It's going to be delayed. But when things get bad enough, when the economy starts to slow down hard enough, when people start spending or people stop spending, stimulus doesn't become a political argument anymore. It just becomes a tool, and a tool to keep money moving, a tool that prevents things from getting worse than what they currently are or what they can be, and a tool they use when they feel like there's no other choice. So that's why you shouldn't rely on this, but do not completely dismiss it. So you want to make sure you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and you want to be able to stay informed and let the data, not the rumors, really guide your expectations. So if you want real updates, if you want explanations that actually make sense, if you want to share this with someone who may be interested and impacted by this, and you want to be able to learn more about this, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. You want to share this video with someone who keeps asking about this $2,000 check. Drop your questions in the comments below. And 2026 is actually shaping up to be a pretty interesting year, and I'm planning on being here to keep breaking these things down with you and sharing with you step by step on what you need to know. And of course, because we are here on this upcoming tax season, if you're looking to save more money in taxes, I've actually linked in a description below a link to an ebook to be able to help you be able to save more money in taxes. So make sure you go ahead and download that. That's absolutely free for you to go ahead and download. And also, if you're looking to get your taxes done, after you go ahead and get that ebook, you will be able to have an opportunity to be able to go ahead and book a call with either myself or my team to go ahead and make sure you get ready for the tax season, and be able to also give you a complimentary tax assessment to show and share with you what you could potentially be able to save or be able to get back on your taxes for 2026. So I'll share with you more details as they come available, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.